Freight Racing as a race team really came out about 2 years ago with a chance phone call from Brad Keselowski and his team 2 weeks shy of the Derby, looking for sponsorship. And through our NASCAR connections with freight auctions and all the sponsors that we had done with them, our name somehow got on a short list for that phone call. And I was sitting in my office, and Marcus, our owner at the time, we had kind of dabbled in the idea of some short track racing, and that phone call came, and I remember getting off the call with him and looking across the room and saying, "You're never going to believe who just called and who wants to go short track racing at the Snowball Derby." And we decided that that was a great opportunity to kind of test the waters in late model stock car racing. That week of being at the Derby down in Five Flags and experiencing what really grassroots racing was all about was what motivated us to take this now from a let's sponsor the sport to let's be part of the sport. So for many years, Freight Auctions was involved in partnerships at the Xfinity, the truck, the cup level. We also had partnerships with Atlanta Motor Speedway, Talladega Superspeedway, and our goal was to bring families to the racetrack. We like the idea of what NASCAR stands for. As great as it is to have your company sticker on a vehicle on race day, there's something different knowing that's your race car going around the track and really having a vested interest in the outcomes of those races.
Jake Garcia will win the Georgia Summer Nationals. Seth Christensen is going to get the win. Unbelievable race for Christensen.
The Georgia driver does it 2 races in a row. Seth Christensen, he wins here at Five Flags Speedway.
So our driver lineup consists of Jake Garcia, Seth Christensen, and Chase Elliott. And each driver kind of has its own unique story and how they fit into the Freight Racing family.
I used to race with Jake in quarter midgets, and we knew Jake. Jake was a very good race car driver, and when we saw that he was moving on to the truck series, that spot opened up. And Freight Racing it's just great people, and I just love to be around them. Everyone's really understanding, and they're really easy to learn from.
When we first committed to putting a team together, we were very fortunate that Marcus has a relationship long-standing with Bill, Cindy, and Chase, the entire Elliott family. When we sat down and said, well, how do we do this locally? Because it's very important that we're supporting Georgia as much as the Georgia race scene. There was really only one name that came to mind, and it was Ricky Turner. I have tremendous amount of respect for him and Will. If you see some of these other teams and the amount of labor they bring in, that's great. That makes everybody's job easier. But to see the dance between Will and Ricky, it's a fun thing to watch, and it's even more fun to be a part of. We like the fact that Chase and Ricky have history together. And it's great to be able to bring Chase back into this sport because we know that these cup drivers have a love for this racing, and anytime they can come to the track, have a great time, and maybe feel a little bit less of the pressure that they feel on a Sunday and enjoy what the purity of the sport is, we want to be the catalyst for that.
It's really cool to see Chase and Jake come out of the same camp pretty much. They both had the same mentors, Will and Ricky, and helping them learn good racecraft, good skills around the car, and understanding the car as well.
There's a whole handful of other racers that I know would love to come and experience what those drivers are doing with us now, but the reality is there's a tremendous amount of expense that's associated with it. And although this is all self-funded by Marcus Barella and Freight Racing, the goal is just like any other company, we're looking for partners to help us on that. The day that I feel like we're gonna be successful is the day when Freight Racing is this big on a quarter panel, and we have a sponsor or a partner that wants to go down this road with us. Our future aspirations aren't to turn into a 10 and 15 car operation. We want to continue to have good equipment, talented drivers, and a controlled cost. It's to take those partnership dollars and contributions and to pass those expense savings down to these families, to give the talent an opportunity to run 3 or maybe 4 races in, say, a pro late model for the cost of what typically it is for 1 race. If there's anything we've learned outside of racing, people are what makes everything work. And at Freight Racing, it is all about people. That's why we were so specific about who we wanted working on our cars, who we wanted driving our cars, and ultimately who we want represented if we do bring partners on board that want to help make this work.